Hi there. This is my first recording. Actually doing this from my room, which is a bit uninspiring as you see boxes behind me and everything. Um, but that's okay. What I wanted to talk about actually is the problem of your head and working against your body. So I find that one of the problems for me personally is overthinking. So can think too much, be too much in our head, and that can work against what your body wants to do. So with the body, I don't just mean the physical body, as in also your physical body, but kind of mean your what uh, that that deeper part of you, that inner you wants to do. And sometimes the intellect, the mind, can be in the way of that. So it's like the mind is going one way and the body is going the other way. And I've had that conflict, I think, a lot of times. It's that you already, from within, you already want to go a certain direction, but your mind is keeping you. It's keeping you from really going there, and that can be frustrating. As in, you have this conflict. You have this conflict all the time. My body is wanting to move the one way, but my mind keeps like blocking it, keeps saying no, it should go, we should go the other way. So yeah, it's been a tough problem for me. Plus I think, I'm not sure if it's different in different cultures and countries, but I think from my culture we learn to depend a lot on the intellect from when we grow up and we study, or when we work. It's kind of more intellectual. Even in the sense that if I watch TV, I notice how when there's some yeah, event going on, or people are a bit more stiff here. I notice if I compare it to say an African culture, people are more loose, more loose. They involve more emotions. So yeah, that's a big difference. So where I come from, this Western European mindset, maybe that I have, at least from my country, the Netherlands, it's more down to earth, more intellectual. I think well, if you know, unless we go out partying, clubbing, or some music festival, I think people get a little loose, a little crazy. But when it comes to, I don't know, work or studies or these kind of things, or yeah, this it's people are more down to earth. Yeah, so it's just a different. I think it's a difference in culture, and a difference in what we're used to. But I don't. I think it's a very good thing. It's good. I mean, I'm not saying the intellect is wrong. I'm not saying your mind is wrong, your head is wrong all the time. But your body, that's your instinct, is very important. I believe that's a deeper part of ourselves that we should listen to or learn to listen to. But we don't listen to it enough. So how do we start listening more to that deeper part within? And I think one way of doing that is to be quiet. Having quiet time can help with that. To kind of like block out all the noise coming from around you, and just filter it out, and focus on the quiet voice within, or focus on where you really want to go, what is your inner voice telling you. And sometimes we're too tuned in to all these kind of voices around us, or all the stuff we kind of gathered in our minds, and all this structured thinking that we've been taught, that all that stuff is blocking us from learning to listen more to our true self, our core. So yeah, it's a process. It's a process of stepping out of that part of yourself that is yeah, that is so dependent on your intellect, and going more into a flow where you listen more to yourself. It's a process, and I'm not there yet, but I'm learning to. And one of the things that has been helping me with that is dance, because through dance, I don't have that much experience yet, but I've now been doing dance for a couple of months, contemporary dance, and it's helping me to get a bit more out of the head, because when I'm stuck in my head, it's like I can't dance. It's like a challenge. If I do dancing and I want to be able to remember the steps, I can't do it with my head. I can't remember the steps. I have to remember it with my body, or else I can't remember a series of steps and movements. It has to be kind of going into my body. I want to remember it with my body. Yeah, I mean, there's to some degree you use your mind consciously to remember stuff, but really the real movements I remember from my body. It's like it needs to be in my system. So it's a good way. It's a nice way of challenging myself to to go with the flow and and dance from my body. And I find that when I'm not so dependent on my head to make movements, to do a dance, I find it's more fluid, it feels better, it looks better, and it's somehow easier to remember as well. Because when you're doing dancing, when you're making movements, you have to be conscious all the time in your head of what step is going to come next, what move is going to come next. One, it's quite rigid and not it's not a fluid thing, and also it doesn't look very fluid that way, because kind of like the way you're thinking, your movement will also go, so it go a bit more stuttering. It's like it's like with computers you have a rendering problem, like video rendering problem. It's stuttering. The image is stuttering in the same way your dance is stuttering, because you're thinking. But if it's coming from your body, it becomes more fluid. You become more fluid in your dance. You become more fluid in your movement, and that's a nice thing. And also, I think that way it's coming from a deeper place within as well. And what I also noticed when it comes to dance is that even if I don't remember a piece or a bit, if I would dance just by using my head, I would be like, oh snap, I missed this piece, I this part of the choreo I forgot, and now I have to go on with dancing, but I'm stuck. I forgot this part. I don't know how to go on. But if I dance with the body, and it's like, oh, I missed something here, I forgot something here, it's okay, I just go on. It's like I'm more smooth in picking up where I made a mistake or I forgot something. I'm more smooth in picking up the flow and just going along with whatever's coming next. So yeah, that's a nice thing. A nice thing about that I'm learning from dancing, and that I'm learning to go more with the inner self, the inner man. And I think that I also heard someone preach that we can have already a change in ourselves to go a certain direction, to be a certain way, to already be past a certain problem, that we have. But our mind hasn't caught up yet. And because our mind hasn't caught up yet, we're still stuck in the problem, we're still stuck in that movement. It's like we're making an old movement because our head is still there. But our body is already ready to move on, our body is already past it, but our mind is just not catching up. So how do you come across, how do you get your mind to align with your body? I think it's an important question.